The Spirit is Too Blunt an Instrument is a poem by an American-British poet and Stevenson, published in the 1969 collection Reversals. This reflective poem has 27 verses broken into 3 stanzas of 9 verses each. Interestingly, the human pregnancy period is of 9 months with 3 stages of gestation. The poem is written in free verse with no regular meter or rhyme scheme. It's unclear whether the unknown speaker of the poem is the baby's parent. Don't forget to share and subscribe. In the first stanza, the speaker is making a contrast between the complexity of a baby's body and the limitations of human emotions or the spirit. The first 2 verses suggest that the spirit, which could mean the soul, human will, or even human emotion, is too clumsy or imprecise to create something as intricate as a baby. The word blunt suggests that the spirit lacks the necessary precision. Instead, the body, which has evolved over time, is capable of reproduction and follows precise biological processes. Think of it like this: if the spirit were a sculptor, it would be like someone trying to carve a delicate statue with a hammer. It just wouldn't work. Creating something as complex as a baby requires incredible precision, which human emotions don't have. The poet rejects the idea that human passions, things like love, desire, or even sexual attraction, could have produced something so detailed and carefully structured, down to its bones, tendons, spine, and nerves, all things that require exactness, not the randomness of emotions like love or passion. The poem highlights the intricate, exacting particulars of the baby's body, drawing attention to how delicate and complex human anatomy is. Words like tiny blind bones, manipulating tendons, and fine meshings give a sense of awe and wonder at how the body is built. The focus on bones, tendons, ganglia, and the spine suggests an appreciation for the body's mechanical and structural aspects. It almost makes the body sound like a finely tuned machine, one that is too precise to have been formed by something as chaotic as human emotions. The use of synesthesia, blending different senses, such as knee knuckle bone and ganglia vertebrae, makes the descriptions more vivid and tactile, immersing the reader in the physicality of the body's construction. The difficult spine at the end could symbolize both the physical complexity of the body and, perhaps, the struggles of human existence itself. There's almost a hint of skepticism or irony in the idea that something as unskilled as human emotions could be responsible for life's precision. In the second stanza, the speaker asks the reader to observe the small, beautiful details of a baby's body. The poem zooms in on small but significant parts of the body: eyelashes, fingernails, ears, capillaries, and nerves. These are not just randomly mentioned, each one highlights the almost architectural perfection of human anatomy. The delicate eyelashes, curved fingernails, and the ear's intricate structure, which she compares to a seashell, suggest that the body is both beautiful and meticulously designed, almost like a work of art or a delicate machine. She also talks about the tiny bones inside the ear, the network of capillaries, and the way the lungs work in perfect harmony with other organs. Words like ossicles, capillaries, and neural filaments demonstrate a profound appreciation for biological intricacy. By using such precise anatomical terms, the poem elevates the body from something ordinary to something awe-inspiring and almost sacred. The phrase "imagine the infinitesimal capillaries" directly asks the reader to picture these microscopic structures, creating a sense of awe at how the body functions in a kind of natural perfection. One of the most striking ideas in this stanza is that the baby's completed body already answers to the brain. This means that from the moment of birth, the baby's body is fully formed and functioning. It doesn't need human emotions or passion to make it work. There is an implicit contrast between the biological precision of the body and the idea that something as chaotic or unskilled as human emotion could have created it. The tone suggests admiration, but possibly also skepticism about traditional explanations of creation, perhaps questioning whether the body's intricate design is purely accidental or shaped by something greater than human will. In the third stanza, the speaker challenges the traditional idea that the mind is superior to the body. She argues the opposite: the body, which follows natural laws, creates life with precision, while the mind, which produces emotions like love, despair, and anxiety, is chaotic and uncertain. No human emotion is ever truly precise, exact, or reliable. Unlike the body, which operates with ignorant precision, meaning it functions perfectly without awareness or effort, but feelings like love, desire, and sadness are unpredictable and imperfect. The speaker outright dismisses the idea that desire or affection could create anything as perfectly as biological processes do. Even if emotions tried to shape something, they would fail. Instead, it is habit, the automatic, unconscious workings of the body, that achieves perfection. The body simply does its job without overthinking. It functions instinctively, without getting distracted by feelings. This is why it can create a baby perfectly, indifferently, without needing love or passion to guide it. The word indifferently implies that the body does not care about what it does, yet it still functions flawlessly. The closing verses suggest that emotions are human-made inventions of the mind, not something as natural or precise as bodily functions. The word vagaries means unpredictability or randomness, supporting the idea that emotions are unstable and confusing. Unlike the body, which follows strict biological rules, the mind is disorderly, producing emotions that lead to suffering. The poem takes a somewhat skeptical, almost cynical view of emotions, portraying them as flawed human inventions rather than natural forces. The speaker might be questioning the romanticized idea that emotions shape the world, instead suggesting that life is actually driven by unconscious biological mechanisms rather than human feelings. This stanza invites us to rethink whether emotions like love and despair are truly natural or simply creations of the unpredictable human mind. Let's thematically analyze Stevenson's poem. The Spirit is Too Blunt an Instrument presents a dualistic perspective by contrasting between the body as a highly skilled, precise machine and the mind as an unreliable, disorderly force. The first stanza establishes the idea that the body is efficient, mechanical, and naturally perfect in creating life, while the human spirit and emotions are too clumsy to accomplish such a feat. The speaker dismisses the idea that passion, love, or desire can create something as intricate as a baby, highlighting instead the biological mastery of evolution. The phrase ignorant precision encapsulates the idea that the body is ignorant because it acts unconsciously, yet it is flawlessly precise in carrying out its functions. In the final stanza, Stevenson further devalues the spirit by suggesting that human emotions such as love, despair, and anxiety are merely creations of the mind, unlike the body's natural and effortless functionality. These emotions are unpredictable, often painful, and lack the precision necessary for constructing something as intricate as a human being. By flipping the usual perspective that the mind is superior to the body, Stevenson aligns herself with a Darwinian and scientific viewpoint, suggesting that biology, rather than metaphysical forces like the soul, is responsible for the creation of life. The Spirit is Too Blunt an Instrument aligns with a biological and scientific worldview rather than a traditional romantic or religious perspective. While many poets have written about childbirth as a mystical or spiritual experience, Stevenson strips away sentimentality and replaces it with scientific awe. The poem is filled with detailed biological descriptions that elevate the body's complexity. Instead of portraying the baby's birth as a mystical event, Stevenson focuses on the mechanical intricacies of the human form. Bones, tendons, ganglia, vertebrae, ossicles, capillaries, neural filaments. Each of these anatomical terms suggests a sense of awe at the body's engineering rather than at the emotions involved in reproduction. The poem suggests that life is not created by love or passion but by the mechanisms of the body itself. By removing divine or spiritual influence from the process of creation, Stevenson highlights the power of nature and evolution, rather than human emotion, in shaping life. The Spirit is Too Blunt an Instrument is a celebration of the body's intricate design and a critique of the mind's limitations. Stevenson portrays human emotions as unreliable and incapable of producing something as complex as a baby, while the body operates with an effortless, unconscious precision.